My Civic has kind of been on the back burner for the past couple weeks here. Even before we can think about getting this car started, there's one big thing that we need to finish here, and that is my rear disc conversion. This rear disc conversion was something I thought was gonna take like no time at all to source parts, and I thought everything was just gonna work, and that wasn't the case at all. But 99.9% of our parts actually came in for it, so we can go ahead and finally get started on that. Before we start anything with these brakes, I have one thing I want to install first, and it was a little bit of a care package for one of my really good friends. He's another YouTuber. His name is CZ_mate. So if you're not subscribed to him, I don't know what you're doing. But he sent me this Downstar hardware for my valve cover. So we're gonna quickly install that before we do anything with these brakes. Turns out I wasn't supposed to take out the long stud, so I gotta put those ones back in. Just a little thing to make the engine pop a little bit more. What is going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Now, I think that was probably the longest intro I've ever done on this channel, but we had some extra things that from CZ maybe we had to put on the car. So today, our goal is to pretty much finish our brake swap and our tire brake setup. And this is one mod that I honestly kind of regret doing right now, because I was expecting it to be you throw the plates on, you throw the caliper on, just connect everything and you're good to go, but that is not the case at all. So we had to get 2000 Civic SI e-brake cables, we had to get new brake hoses, and I'm having a hell of a time right now trying to find a banjo bolt to actually put in the caliper to make them work. So the only thing we're waiting on right now is that banjo bolt. I'm still trying to source 2 of them for my rears, but everything else we finally have. And doing research, the e-brake cable is a lot more work than I kind of anticipated. So we had to tear apart half the interior, we had to go under the car, take some bolts off, and then it should connect relatively easily from there. And for those who don't understand why you need the SI cable, this is your original e-brake cable, and it is like a couple inches too short because this end has to go over here, and it's just that hair too small. So we have to get the new one, because if this is compressed, then nothing works right. So right here we have the SI brake cables, and to my understanding, they're just a little bit longer, and the fitting on the end is different. So that will slide into that little thing, and I guess I need to find or make some sort of bolt contraption here to make that work. So pretty much we have to get under the car. There's a couple bolts we have to undo. So I'm gonna push up the car a little bit more, put some extra jack stands on there just for extra safety, and we're just gonna get to it. It's definitely kind of weird recording this because it's all under the car and I can't really get my camera under there, but pretty much just follow the lines until you get to the front, and then we have to take apart half the interior, which is one of my favorite things to do with this car. I knew having a quick release steering wheel would come in handy one time. These bolts are usually really annoying to get to because the steering wheel's in the way, but take the steering wheel off, you don't have that issue no more. So the cables on the inside of the car are now removed. The easiest way I found, I had a phone call so I cut the video and I forgot to start back up. Just use pliers just to get the cable out of the little bracket, and then we'll transfer everything over. And I'm not sure if these cables actually run underneath the carpet or if they go straight down, but it's looking like they go into the carpet a little bit. So I need to figure out kind of a way to get these out without ripping the carpet so I can just get them out the hole But then again, this bracket hole I am seeing under the car, so maybe it does just go right under. So once you get the brake line's first bolt, which was like right here, it kind of falls into place and it goes under this plastic thing, and the bolt is all the way hiding up in here. So I need to find out how to get a tool up in there to get it. And then it looks like it kind of just goes up there and connects to these grommets right here, and that's where it goes into the car. So this actually shouldn't be too bad to remove. That bolt completely sucked to get out. You just have to get big boy like this and just stick it in there and barely turn it at all. Had to use a breaker bar. So now we have no more, I hate bees, man. We have no more bolts, so we just have to like slide it out of the grommet, I guess. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to do that now. It is only 3 bolts and we got it out. And I found out this one was actually snapped in one location because this thing is kind of rusty. But these bolts were just in really awkward spots. I'm not sure how the other side looks. So now we just have to compare this one to the new ones and find out which side is which, because it does matter. And if you are doing this swap, be prepared to spend some money on these cables. These cables, the passenger side's like 30 bucks and then the driver's side's like 80 for whatever reason. I don't know, but it's just how it is. So I'm gonna compare these and see if this is the right one. If not, I have to go inside and get the other one. Maybe because this one has gold hardware, it's why it's so expensive. But the one with the gold one is the driver's side because the bends bend the same way. So that's how I found that one out. Now, all it is really is just following the lines and going to the inside. So I did the inside first just because you can yank them out, and I'm not sure about putting them back in because it looks like it did travel some distance under the carpet. So I'm gonna try just putting it through the hole and routing it and see if I can pull it through, because that way it'll just make it an easier install. And I'm sorry I'm not really showing you guys under the car. It's really hard to show you, but if you follow the lines, I swear it's easy. It's only 3 bolts. They're in awkward spots, but if you have the right tools, they're manageable. And by the right tools, I mean you just need some socket wrenches of varying sizes and just a breaker bar and you'll get it done. That same bolt I had trouble getting out. Right now I'm having even more trouble getting in, and I need to take like a little bit of a break here because I am starting to overheat out here. But it's that one bolt that I couldn't get out because it's tucked in weird, not wanting to go in. Really don't want to admit how long it took me to get that one bracket back in of that one that it was just in a bad spot. And then now we're gonna play the game again of why was my previous owner of this car messing with brake lines, because I found out the one e-brake line is zip tied on, which means he took the bolt off at some point. But the passenger side's a lot easier. It's only 2 bolts opposed to 3, and you just have to kind of dig it in, and same process. It's very easy to get out. I also do need to figure out how to route this cable, but pretty much it's going to go on this, like this at some way. And when it's like that, it just bolts on or zip ties aren't or whatever. I just need to find out if I need to route it through these holes or whatever I need to do just to make it look clean and out of the way of everything. Also, I did just find out my banjo bolt sizes. So I need to, I think it is this one. I need to take this caliper apart again, and I need to put on new clips because this one was actually missing clips. So I ordered some new ones just to hold in the things. And then these brakes are pretty much ready to go since I get that banjo bolt on. Then we just have to get a bleeder and then bleed the brakes, put new fluid in, and the brakes are ready to go. And I was mostly worried about these brakes because you don't got stopping power. There's no point of getting the car to start. I do have a bunch of stuff in my house waiting to install after these brakes are done. So we're getting going, and I want to have this car ready and driving by the end of August. That is my main goal. It didn't really turn out that well. I wanted to have this by June, but things come up, new jobs happen, and life happens. So end of August is my main goal now. Now I'm having one of the situations that I really couldn't tell if the previous owner was messing with the e-brake cables and he lost bolts and just had things laying around, or just the SI cables are different but the body structure is still the same, because I was missing bolts and only one bolt was holding that e-brake cable in. And since I'm missing bolts now because I don't know where the bolts ever were, we're just gonna zip tie the brackets back on because I'm not gonna find bolts for it. And I think a zip tie will be just fine because just the e-brake cable, it's not really going anywhere. Really? As soon as I try using it, it dies on me? I was hoping that part about me bolting it back up was gonna look cool, but then my freaking drill decides to die on me. It's messed up, man. Now the last part we have to learn and figure out how to do is how to actually route the e-brake cables onto the caliper. So the driver's side is all bolted up. The passenger side is zip tied up, and it's only on by like 2 points, so I'm kind of like sketched out about it. But everything is connected now and everything is secure. So I'm going to have to go back and do the passenger side and make sure everything's good and make sure it's tucked up somewhere so it doesn't get caught on anything. So that should be good. So now we just have to figure out how to route these cables. So your boy's kind of upset right now because I think I put the calipers on the wrong side, and I'll show you why I think that. So right here is the actual assembly for the e-brake, and if you push down, it activates it. So if I have this cable on this side, it's gonna be pulling up on it. So that means this has to be up here and flip back. Yeah, they're on the wrong sides. I don't know how I did that, and I thought they were all good to go, but I think they're on the wrong sides, so I might have to flip them, and that's not something I'm willing to do today. All in all though, my brakes need like 2 more parts to actually be done. I need 2 banjo bolts, and then I have the hoses to finish them. The e-brake cables are in. I have to flip the calipers, put the e-brake cables on, find a way to secure them, and then we're all good to go. So we're pretty much done with this entire brake swap. And this is the last thing I want to, or the first thing I want to get done before we actually start working on getting the car started. So with my test right now, I do have the e-brake adjusted and pulled all the way up, and you can see this is still rolling pretty freely. And if I pull down a little bit on it, it will stop it, but I still have to adjust it. I think I need to also route it through these holes here or something to get it right. But it's all gonna come with time. I'm gonna look at some like diagrams and other pictures and see how it's supposed to be routed, but I think I do have to flip the calipers over, which isn't that big of a deal. I have to take the hub off and it won't take too long. So in the next video, I'll probably do that once I get my banjo bolts. So I'm gonna leave you guys off here. So if you guys, you know, enjoy this video, drop a like and subscribe, that'd be dope. But I'm gonna ask you guys to do a few things: comment, subscribe, keep doing all that fun stuff, keep doing you, stay motivated. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and peace.